Save big with this Xbox bundle. Xbox wants you to snitch. The new Xbox might look a little different. This Xbox exec says they're heading in a new direction. Xbox is forced to give in to Sony, and we got a new insider update to talk about. Let's discuss. If you want to get your holiday shopping done early this season, check out the links down in my description because I have links to all sorts of stuff. Games, consoles, accessories, you name it. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, I would very much appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, maybe set your notifications to all, and help me get to 100,000 subscribers. What's up guys, and welcome back to another edition of Xbox Ready. As per usual, I have gathered a number of stories from around the industry to make sure that you too are Xbox ready. First up, we got a new Series S bundle that we gotta talk about, the Gilded Hunter Xbox Series S bundle that they just posted about on the Xbox Wire. Included in this bundle are cosmetics and digital currency for 3 different games: Fall Guys, Fortnite, and Rocket League. You'll get 1,000 V-Bucks for Fortnite, 1,000 Show Bucks for Fall Guys, and then 1,000 Rocket League credits. On top of that, you get different cosmetic bundles for each game, and then you get a bunch of cool stuff for Rocket League, including the Fennec car, Huntress decal, orange hex phase boost, and all sorts of other stuff. So on top of the digital currency that you're getting, I'm sure if you did the math on buying the Gilded Hunter pack bundles in the game separately, that would probably bring the total savings up to like 50 bucks with this bundle. It's not the most exciting bundle that we've seen from Xbox going into the holiday season. Just a couple days ago, I was on this channel talking about the Xbox Series S and Modern Warfare 2 bundle. At least for me, a new Call of Duty game is much more appealing than Fortnite. That's just not my kind of shooter. And of course, Modern Warfare 2 is a brand new game valued at $70 whopping, which effectively made the price of that Series S in the bundle 230 bucks. So yeah, not the most exciting bundle that we've seen, but a pretty solid deal nonetheless. The Gilded Hunter bundle is going to be available starting on November 29th. And from now until the end of this year, going into the holidays, keep your eye out for different bundles, guys. They're going to be popping up, and sometimes these deals pop up and they sell out so fast that it's like talking about them on the channel is kind of like, it's kind of difficult because I filmed the video, I talk about it, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it, and then once the video goes up, I'm like, dang, it's sold out or the deal is not available. So I encourage you to keep your eyes peeled for these different deals, especially on the Series S. Y'all know I'm a huge fan of all things medieval and fantasy, which is why I'm so excited to talk about today's sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is an organization that seeks to preserve the natural beauty of Scotland and aid in its reforestation effort. They do this in a really fun way by selling you little tiny plots of land that, according to ancient Scottish tradition, makes you a lord or a lady. This is what mine looks like. Y'all know I've always been the Lord Janitor, but now it's official. I am Lord Ray Trevino. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. If you want to rub your new status in the face of the local peasantry, you can even go as far as to put your new title, Lord or Lady, on your credit cards and plane ticket. For every order, Established Titles pledges to plant 1 tree and works with One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation effort. It's a really fun last-minute gift going into the holiday season, and the first 200 people to use my link to buy a plot of land in Scotland will be right next to my plot of land, so you can help me build the kingdom of Xbox Ready. Again, this certificate of lordship makes a great, thoughtful last-minute gift, especially for fantasy nerds like me. Established Titles is actually running a massive Black Friday sale, and if you use the code XboxReady at checkout, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/XboxReady to claim what is rightfully yours and help support the channel. Next up, let's talk about this transparency report that Xbox put out not too long ago. In it, they've made some pretty interesting claims. So the official quote is that the Xbox team issued more than 4.33 million proactive enforcements against inauthentic accounts, representing 57% of the total enforcements in the reporting period. Inauthentic accounts are typically automated or bot-created accounts that create an unlevel playing field and can detract from positive player experience, up from 9 times the amount of players that they banned compared to this time last year. Pretty crazy increase, and of course, like, it's pretty shocking to see that there's that many bot accounts on a service like Xbox Live, but that's a hot button issue right now in the tech world in general. Of course, Mr. Elon Musk over at Twitter was claiming that, oh, pretty much everyone on Twitter is a bot. I don't want to buy it. And then you ended up buying it. It was a whole thing. And then in this next bullet point, they're basically encouraging you to snitch on other players. No, that's kind of a strong word. It's not so much snitching. They're encouraging players to report other players that are acting inappropriately when it comes to conduct and communication. They say our players provided over 33 million reports this period, with communications and conduct accounting for the majority of player concerns. Content moderation agents are on staff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. These dudes do not take a day off. They are just waiting for these reports to come in and say, oh my gosh, okay, someone was really mean in Overwatch. I gotta go investigate that. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes people act really crazy and out of pocket when you're playing a game online. Now that I'm a YouTuber, people say crazy stuff to me all the time in my DMs and my comments. So I could see from a business standpoint, especially on a platform that has so many children, why you would want to moderate that. Typically what I do is that I just mute them, or I don't join the voice chat. I block them from the friends list or whatever. But I have yet to encounter something where I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta report this player. I gotta see justice done. And then in the third bullet point of this, they detail how you can kind of tailor your own experience if you want to moderate the content that you see. They say, we offer many ways for players to customize settings, from message filters to parental controls, at any point in your Xbox experience. These settings allow players to manage the type of content they see and experience across all the ways they play, whether on PC, console, or anywhere with cloud gaming. I can see those tools definitely being useful if you have a kid on your Xbox family plan or something like that. But at the same time, it's usually the kids that are saying the craziest stuff to me when I'm playing games online. So it's like, okay, who's the real enemy here? Who's the real menace? They also added into this Xbox Wire post this really bizarre flow chart. Like, okay guys, who made this thing, right? It's kind of a flow chart of what you should do if you encounter a problem, whether someone acts crazy to you online, how to report it, and the steps you need to take after that, or what to do if you're the one that someone files a complaint against. This thing should definitely be like some sort of flow chart, some sort of tree, like if this happens, you do this. If this happens, you do that. But instead it's like a racetrack. Like, what is going on here? They also say some, I don't want to call it questionable, but it did raise my eyebrows a little bit, because they were saying, oh, we have this really fancy surveillance technology that we use to investigate reports of misconduct. And I'm like, hold on, what's going on? So is it really true that they're like recording all of our voice chats and monitoring them to make sure that we're not doing anything bad, that we're behaving? This also has been kind of a hot button issue in the gaming community. I know a lot of people were talking about it when Overwatch 2 went live, because there was all sorts of stuff saying, oh, you gotta tie a phone number to your account. And we're doing things to curb toxicity, like monitoring game chats, monitoring party chats, things like that. And people were like, whoa, that seems like an invasion of privacy. What's going on? But I feel like Xbox is doing it a better way. They're putting it in the hands of the players. They're saying, hey, if you see something, if it makes you uncomfortable, say something. And yes, while they did ban a bunch of accounts proactively, many of them were bots. It doesn't sound like they're going and hunting for excuses to ban any account they want willy-nilly. Next up, Phil Spencer had a pretty interesting quote when talking about the future of Xbox. The headline from this article on VGC is that Microsoft's head of gaming has said that Xbox will struggle to continue as a global business if the company doesn't establish a foothold in mobile gaming. Now, if you've been following it on your own, listening to other YouTubers, influencers, whatever, a lot of the focus right now when it comes to the discourse on this acquisition is focused on Call of Duty. Is it going to be exclusive to Xbox? Is it going to be multi-platform? Is it going to be on PlayStation for a couple of years, like 1 or 2 or 3 years, and then it goes exclusive to Xbox? Are we going to get priority in terms of the maps, in terms of these different perks, in terms of performance? And basically in this interview, Phil Spencer comes out and it's like, guys, that's not our main focus here. Yes, it's a pretty juicy part. It's probably gonna make them a lot of money if this acquisition goes through. Call of Duty as a franchise, nothing to sneeze at, of course. But this is about like the second or third time that Phil Spencer has come out and said, we're really excited about this deal because of the mobile aspect, the power that it gives for us to break into mobile gaming. As part of this deal, it's not only Activision and Blizzard, but also King Games. King, the makers of Candy Crush. He even went so far as to say the idea that Activision is all about Call of Duty on console is a construct that might get created by our console competitor. He then threw a little shade at Sony, and this is something that we've all talked about, we've all remarked on as well in the Xbox community. But he said, I haven't heard that Nintendo has been sending in any complaints about this deal. We've only heard complaints from Sony. We have heard concerns from other people saying, well, I don't know, but usually people are like, yeah, okay, I could see this deal going through, and I could see how it could be mostly good for the video game industry. We can't really fully tell and make a decision on that right now, but there's generally been like, okay, like this makes sense for both parties. It seems to me that Xbox has their eyes on expanding their gaming business away from consoles. Maybe not forgetting them entirely, but we already know that they're pretty interesting in growing PC Game Pass right now. They're saying, oh my gosh, we've seen incredible growth of PC Game Pass versus console Game Pass. Let's try to explore that. Let's make some updates to the app to make it run smoother, to give it a performance boost. And I'm sure after they saw Take-Two acquire Zynga, they were like, okay, Take-Two, they've done some incredible work in the traditional console gaming space. But they also have this huge revenue stream from Zynga, from mobile gaming. So Xbox, they're trying to get a little crafty with it, and I can totally understand why. You see the money that is generated by mobile gaming, it is like insane. Most of the money being made in the video game industry is from people playing games on their phone. And I know a lot of you are gonna say, oh my gosh, I don't want Xbox to focus on mobile gaming. I don't want that. I want more console games. I want more of these bangers I've been hearing about all of these years. But I wouldn't worry over Xbox thinking, oh, well, their pursuits in the mobile gaming industry are gonna affect their pursuits in the console space. So I think they can focus on both. Microsoft is a big enough company to where it makes sense that they can handle everything. For those of you who are still hyper-focused on Call of Duty, Phil Spencer again has reiterated that he is working to keep Call of Duty on all platforms, and especially on PlayStation. Back in September, The Verge wrote up an article centered around this written statement from Phil Spencer saying that he's interested in keeping Call of Duty multi-platform. More recently, he interviewed with Justine and her sister Jenna, and he said the same thing. He said, I want to treat Call of Duty like Minecraft, keep it multi-platform. And then again, he's interviewed with The Verge, and he's saying, guys, for real, we are working on a longer term commitment to keep Call of Duty on all platforms, including PlayStation, if this deal goes through. He says it's not about at some point I pull the rug underneath PlayStation 7's legs, and it's, you just didn't write the contract long enough. There's no contract that could be written that says forever. This idea that we would write a contract that says the word forever in it, I think is a little bit silly, but to make a longer term commitment that Sony would be comfortable with, regulators would be comfortable with, I have no issue with that at all. And while it may be clear to some people that Phil wants to kind of keep his options open, keep Call of Duty on multiple platforms, I know people are still gonna nitpick at this because he said, I don't wanna say forever. I know regulators are gonna be like, okay, well, you're kind of leaving it up to interpretation. What's going on, Phil? I know when people first heard about this acquisition, a lot of people were wanting for Xbox to go for the killer blow, to go and say, hey, we are making all Call of Duties exclusive to Xbox. Haha. But as the months have gone on, it makes more financial sense for Xbox to keep it multi-platform if this deal goes through. And it might even get to the point where the regulators force Xbox and Microsoft to make certain concessions, sign a dotted line that says, hey, I vow, I pinky promise, I swear on my mother's grave that Call of Duty is gonna be playable on PlayStation. And even if those concessions have to be made, I feel like the deal is still worth it for Xbox and for Activision Blizzard. Like I said, they will get the mobile gaming component, they'll get all sorts of dormant IPs that could be really interesting to revive. And I personally hope that Xbox could really turn around the work culture that we have come to know about, all the stuff that's going down over there at Activision Blizzard. Overall, guys, I just cannot wait until next year when more of this deal is further along. We have a clearer idea of what is going to happen because all the speculation, all this drama is killing me. So you've probably heard by now that Xbox is working on a new dashboard for us that's going to launch in 2023. And people have a lot of opinions about how the dashboard should look going forward. People are very passionate. I do especially. I made a whole video about the subject. Some of the iterations that we've seen so far being tested in the insider build haven't been super encouraging but they are continuing to work on it. They are continuing to implement feedback from the community. And along that same line of thought, they have released a new series of updates for Xbox insiders that will change some things in the dashboard. First up, they have different layouts of home grouping the customer picked modules together for easier access that will show to some gamers. Let us know which version is your favorite. So this is just them kind of experimenting with what we know as groups right now. Different layouts, different functions. They say you can now add your top groups to home and see them when you scroll down for quicker access to the games and apps you choose. You can choose which groups you want on home by going to My Games and Apps, Groups, Group Name, pressing the menu button and selecting Add to Home. You can also add top groups to your home and see them when you scroll down for quicker access to the games. So on this blog post, they have a little picture demonstrating the game module that I was just describing. It has a little picture of Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite. And next to them, they have the relevant achievements that are coming up. They have some screenshots from the community that people have shared. And on the Halo Infinite module that you see in this picture, I think it's really cool that they have the looking for group tab. Obviously, Halo Infinite, it's more fun with friends, and now that campaign co-op is live, you can easily team up, look for a group, and go 4-player co-op in the campaign. They also have a new feature, browse and watch your media, and a new watch and listen spotlight. The last bullet point on this, it's funny to me. It just made me chuckle a little bit. They say lists of games from the Xbox Game Pass catalog and the Microsoft Store for Xbox are now picked for you using an algorithm and should become more relevant if you share your data with Xbox. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't like sharing their data, this idea that their companies are looking at them and trying to curate their experience. But I think that honestly would be pretty useful to me. I remember back when Elden Ring came out, I remember looking around my Xbox dashboard and my Microsoft Store and being like, I'm not seeing any marketing for Elden Ring. And it's only like a couple of weeks away from launching. What is going on? That is like one of my most anticipated games. I love dark fantasy. Maybe if I shared my data, they would have pushed Elden Ring out to me a little bit more. They do say at the end of this little paragraph right here that they're going to share more about backgrounds very, very soon. But for now, these changes to the Xbox dashboard and the groups and the gaming modules and things like that are only available to Xbox insiders in the alpha and alpha skip ahead ring. If you want to become an Xbox insider, as a reminder, all you have to do is download the Xbox Insider Hub app on your Xbox and enroll your console in one of the preview builds. But here's the thing, you actually have to participate, guys. You actually have to put in the work. You have to give Xbox feedback, be an active contributor in order to work your way into those insider rings.